I'll be back. You've been back enough times. I'll be back. Yippee-ki-yay. And that's when I contemplated suicide. Yes, The Expendables 2, and every time I review these movies I gotta bring the gun up. Why? Because it's a badass action movie. Well, it's an action movie that wants to be a badass throwback. We'll talk about it. This is my least favorite of the franchise. Yes, including the third. I've seen it. It's kind of old at this point. I'll talk about it. So let's talk about The Expendables 2. Get that gun out of here before I shoot myself. Remember when I used to do that all the time at the end of videos? I'd shoot myself. I don't know. Some people prefer water lately. I'm on a hot chocolate kick. I don't know. I love it. Feels good. Makes me feel like Christmas time. I want to put on a sweater and watch Home Alone and Die Hard. And Silent Night, Deadly Night. Specifically part 2, probably. But anyway, The Expendables 2. Same cast as the first. I don't even want to name them at this point because there's a lot of them to remember. And they add a couple people. Okay, I'll try and name them all. Stallone, Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Terry Crews, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Did I already forget someone from the main cast? I don't give a shit. Liam Hemsworth, okay? I don't give a shit about the cast. We know who it is. Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis show up and shoot some guns, and those are the worst scenes in the movie. Not them shooting specifically, but fuck me when Schwarzenegger says yippee-ki-yay. I wanted to shoot myself. That was bad. And also you get Chuck Norris, okay? Chuck Norris. Now this movie's a sequel. The Expendables are back, and this time they got a new villain named Villain. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Villain. But it sounds really close to Villain. Get that joke? Yeah, that's shitty writing. And anyway, he kills one of the Expendables, so they go back for vengeance. And do they get it? Well, yeah, they get some bloody vengeance, and it's shitty. Unlike the first movie, there is no director's cut for The Expendables 2. I'm pretty sure they were fully satisfied and happy with what they got. They almost made a PG-13 because of Chuck Norris, I believe. But that didn't happen. They waited for the third movie, and that didn't help that movie. But thankfully, this one's rated R. Does it help? If it was PG-13, I don't think it could really hurt the movie anymore. The Expendables 1, the first movie, I hated it. Saw the director's cut, saw it in a new light, still thought it had a lot of problems, you know. But the writing with character development stuff was better. There's more character interaction, and I like that. It was an improved movie. I would own it. The Expendables 2 does not have one, and therefore fails in a lot of ways. The cast is fun to watch interact somewhat, except for when they're stealing each other's one-liners. They make too many wink-wink, nudge-nudge jokes. They do it too much to the point where it's a comedy almost. When Terry Crews says, "If you break my gun, your ass is terminated," to Schwarzenegger, again, bad. They're making bad jokes. The only one I really appreciate is when Chuck Norris tells a Chuck Norris joke. I like that, okay? Some people might have thought it was stupid. I applaud that. Chuck Norris told a Chuck Norris joke. He wins. He's a mystical, magical character that is everything the legend of Chuck Norris says he is. I like that. But the writing, it's weak, it's lame, and it's forgettable. Character dialogue, well, let's just be honest. All these movies have some terrible, terrible dialogue. The first one, a couple moments, like I said, because it was an improved director's cut. Stallone actually had a better vision. This one you get Simon West. What did he direct? He directed this. What else must you say? Con Air is amazing, and he directed the second one. If only he came back to direct maybe the fourth one or something, brings a connection with him from Con Air and brings Nicolas Cage. Please. Hey Barney, what's in the bag? A shark or something? I'm very, very villainous. I don't know what I'm doing. Ho ho ho. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, I really want fucking Nicolas Cage as a villain. And why would he say no? It's not like he turns down movie roles. He'll be in anything. I could give him an offer to be in a short film that I made next week and he would say yes if I could pay him. This movie's action, I'm trying to decide if it's better or not. I feel like it's about the same. Simon West, he's got a couple good, like, impressive shots. The first one, my favorite, was when Terry Crews is mowing down people in the hallway with that shotgun, and Yeah, it's awesome. This one, my favorite pure action moment, I guess, is when Jet Li picks up a frying pan and is going to town on guys. And it's just one long shot of him going and just beating ass. And I like that. I was like, where's more of that? I want more. And then a lot of it's just standard action that's shot and well framed enough. Okay, it's not shaky cam. I don't care. It's good. There's CGI blood instead of squibs, but go with it. The CGI blood is just... They have too many modern action film aesthetics that they don't need. Really, go back to the 80s. Make it even dirty, grimy. Get a camera from the 80s to film it. I don't know if that's possible. I would try. What else does this movie do? Well, it gives us a better villain than Eric Roberts, you know? He was just a boring business guy in a suit. Nothing to him. Not a threat, really. Like, just lame. Bad. Get rid of him. But... Jean-Claude Van Damme, the master of the splits. Listen, Bonnie Ross, I will kill you with the splits. The muscles from Brussels. Yeah, he was in a movie with Dolph Lundgren, Universal Soldier. I saw the fourth one, or was it the third one? And on Andrei Arlovsky. Forgettable. That's literally the only other movie I've seen him in, I think. I watched half of Hard Target, and then I think I got bored or something. He had a hell of a mullet in that movie, though. And he surfed on a dirt bike. God damn, that guy. But anyway, Jean-Claude Van Damme, master of the splits. As a villain, very forgettable, you know, but at least he did a big roundhouse kick to knock a chest in someone's knife, I was going to say. He roundhouse kicks a knife in someone's chest. That was cool. His fight with Stallone at the end, I don't remember a moment of it. It's forgettable. That's bad. It's like the first movie, it was a lame standoff with Eric Roberts. This one, we're supposed to get a cool fight, and it's forgettable. Damn it! This movie, out of all of them, it's almost the most forgettable to me. And you get a shootout where Schwarzenegger, Willis show up, Chuck Norris is kicking ass and all that. It all feels very forgettable to me. It's forgettable. And it's disappointing too. I want these movies to be good, and the first one, director's cut, is. This one's forgettable, third one, memorable in a bad way, essentially. You know? The third one I'll talk about when that review comes, but if it's memorable, it's usually not in a good way, and that's just it, I guess, is the best way to describe this movie. It's forgettable. It's forgettable. You look at the aesthetic, it's all very gray, bland, drab gray colors. It's not nice to look at. I gotta go get the phone now. This movie's drab, its color palette, it's all grays and dark colors. It's not even fun to look at. The thing with this movie, it's ugly to look at, kinda. It is. It's got a bland, boring color palette, and it matches the movie pretty much, because the movie's very bland and boring, except for really, really bad jokes. I cannot stress that enough, how mad I was watching. Sylvester, Stallone, and Statham, like, they're alright, and some of the other guys are alright, but specifically it's like Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis, just like, oh god, they gave them the worst jokes in the movie. I don't even want to talk about this movie anymore. I'm probably forgetting a point I had to make. Give me 10 seconds. There is no logic or if and or why to anything that happens, really. It's all nonsense, and this is like the worst. As far as stories go, this is the worst. The first was alright. There was some logic, but not much, but I could follow the story. This one is just like, and I don't enjoy following the story. We'll see how I feel about the third one. I can spoil my review now, but I'd rather you go watch that video. Now what makes me mad too is people's acceptance of these movies. Just like, yeah, they're fun throwbacks to the 80s, but it's the details is where they screw it up. They didn't wink wink, nudge nudge at every little thing. They took it serious. And the first movie did take it serious, but almost too seriously, where the first movie wasn't quite fun enough, until the director's cut kind of had an even match, an even level of comedy and seriousness. The second one just like, oh, it's all hilarious, right? Every time you say a one-liner, you look at the camera, your teeth twinkle, you wink. Yeah, no. Like, I don't want to see Arnold walking up to Jason Statham being like, you mean eat other people's lunches? Stop it! Like, I thought they might do something like that. You never know. Like, he could be like, shut up, Junior, I'm gonna give you some red heat. Like, I expect that almost in this movie. They just make so many bad jokes. Expendables 2 is making me very mad. It's making me very, very mad. Maybe it's the hot chocolate I've been having that's giving me extra caffeine fury or something. I just want to kill somebody. But yeah, this movie is... I don't not look back on it fondly at all. If you do, that's okay. But it's just these movies. People give them such kind of like, oh, they're so fun. It's like... They're trying to be throwbacks, and they have too much modern aesthetics, and they do it poorly. And I just don't like them. I don't like them. The director's cut of the first is the only one I will possibly ever like. The Expendables 2 gets a D. The movie's disappointing and bad. And you know, the first one, didn't set me up for a lot, but the second I was like, it could be better, and no, it couldn't. It could get worse. And the third one, I will talk about it. I will see you guys next time when I review The Expendables 3, but comment below, tell me your thought of the movie. What do you think of The Expendables, Expendables 2? And so thanks for watching, I'll see you guys later.